This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Jason Gruhl. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I am doing great. Thank you so much, Angel.
It's a great pleasure to connect with you, Jason. What part of the world are you in right now?
I am living in Denver, Colorado.
All right. And which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
My writing of children's picture books, I think.
Ooh, so you're writing children pictures book. Is it that the pictures are... are you writing stories on the pictures, or is it just pictures?
It's I write the stories and then I find illustrators to work with around the world. So
that sounds like fun. Tell us about the topics you write on, please.
So my main thing is that I think kids are a lot smarter and more intuitive than most adults. And so I try and write stories that I wish I had read as a child. So my latest book is called Everything is Connected. And it talks about, why should we care about a child across the world or an animal that lives in Australia or the environment in Russia and it just helps kids understand how they're connected to all things in the world and how that works. So
where did the idea come from to do this?
I think it was actually about 3 years ago, and there's just a sense I think at least in the United States, and I think in a lot of the world right now, of just feeling very disconnected and separate. A feeling of, there's lots of people looking for homes and immigration and refugees, and just feeling like, why is this something that's my problem, or why is this something I should care about? And I think that it was my response to sort of say, people and things around the world might seem very separate, but we're all in this together in some way. We're all trying to find our own way, and the earth is a much smaller place than we imagine it to be.
So who did you learn that ability to communicate with pictures from?
I think my view and being able to do this a lot came from working with children with autism for a long time. I actually was a teacher, and then I ran a school for a long time. And people with autism sort of make you see the world differently. It makes you realize how much of the world is made up, and that we kind of wake up every day and we just sort of see it the same way, but that they look at it and say, why? Why should I wave my hand to say hello? Or why am I using these particular words to communicate? And that experience really got me to look at the world differently and see how much of it is really crafted and made up. And that if it's made up, then we can make something different. And so I think writing for kids really lets me let them know that the world is sort of an ever-changing place, and that they get a say in how this all goes.
Why will you continue to be the person that helps other individuals through your picture books?
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Yeah, why will you continue to be that guy that helps individuals through your books?
I think, well, first I have 1,000 ideas. I can't keep up with them, so I have to just keep writing. But I think the other piece is just so many people have this idea, have new ideas, and have ways of living that they want to live, and just being able to be free to express all the different ways that there is to be a human being. And I think why I'll continue doing what I'm doing is to let kids know that we need that give them permission if they're not hearing that from their parents or from their schools or from their faith or wherever it happens to be, to just sort of continue to explore who they are, because I think what the world really needs is more and more people really being exactly who they are and coming up with the new ideas that might change how we've created the world in ways that aren't really working right now. There are a lot of better ways to do what we do.
I love that. Definitely agree with that. Well, do tell us, like, where can we get these books? Where can we find out more? Where can we see pictures?
So the main book right now that just was published is called Everything is Connected, and it is internationally, Amazon is probably the best way to get it, Amazon.com, but you can get it in lots of other online places, Barnes and Noble, Target, essentially like anywhere online, but Amazon is probably the easiest place to find that.
All right. Well, do tell us one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, Jason.
Consistently. I would say, meditation probably would be the thing that I've worked on the most over the last 3 years. And just sort of continuing to, as we look out at other people and at the world as it is, and try and figure out new ways of solving some of the problems. I think the reminder that meditation is for me is just that it starts with myself. It starts with being able to look at the places that I need to grow, the places where I contribute to suffering, the places where I continue to sort of delude myself about, who I am and what I'm capable of. And so being able to find some radical honesty in myself helps me to be, I think, a better person and a better listener, and have some more empathy for people out in the world. So
why would you suggest other people do that?
If it's right, so, meditation is great for a lot of people, and some people it doesn't really sort of resonate with them. But I think one of the things that is the most helpful, I think, if I'm telling someone else, I think it might be great for them, is just that it's a way of really getting real. It's a way of getting quiet. It's a way of truly knowing ourselves, I guess. I mean, that's Everything is Connected. That book sort of also, I think, was born out of that, in seeing that it's a kind of a paradox that if you sit with yourself, you actually can feel connected to everything.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
Yeah.
You're an interesting guy, my friend. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Thank you, Angel.
You're welcome. All right. Well, let's switch gears for a moment. Let me now invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Jason, what's your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory. It's sitting in my family's living room with my mom and my dad, and I think it must have been Christmas, but I'm sitting with a big stuffed dog in my mom's lap, and my dad is sitting next to us smiling. But just sort of a warm family memory in the living room.
Why do you think this memory is so clear?
I think I felt really cared for and loved by my family, by my mom and dad, for most of my life. I feel very lucky about that, and I think that felt like a really stable, just a connected, warm moment.
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
I would say, my mom was kind of notorious for, as I went through my life and I went to school, and I would come back and say, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be this. And I just always remember her sort of saying, it could change by the day. And she would say, "Oh, you're going to be the best one of those that there is. You're going to be the best one of those that there is." And there was a sense of freedom that I felt by feeling loved by them that I think has followed me into my life. And my mom's no longer with me, but there's this sense of that internal support somehow got transferred onto me. Like, you know what, I'm going to be okay, and it's worth trying. And now I know I don't need to be the best. I don't need to whatever. But I think that impetus to try and to that was instilled from that feeling confident and being able to just sort of navigate the world.
That's pretty amazing that even now, after she's passed, that you're still
Yeah.
connected.
Yeah. A wild connection.
If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
12 years old, my favorite song. Eye of the Tiger.
Sweet.
I feel like that was one of them.
All right. Well, we've arrived at our destination now. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Jason?
Okay.
Jason, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to? Hit me yes or no. Are you married?
Yes.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Less.
If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Jason Gruhl, what would you say that is?
Wow.
You could say pass.
I'd say love yourself.
There we go. Well, Jason, this has been a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I would just say whatever there is in your heart to go out and do, or who to be, that you just go out and be it, and don't be afraid to be messy. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid, but we get one life, and go out and make sure you live it.
Love it. I'll read a few lines, 4 lines from one of Jason's book, Everything is Connected. He says, you're connected to friends and teachers at school, and even to people you don't think are cool. Jason, I think you're a cool guy, my friend. I appreciate you passing by. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.